Then, as a friendly reciprocal gesture, some of our girls, most of them off duty from munitions factories or aircraft annexes, decided to give the Yanks an insight into the mysteries of Australian rules.
I still remember saying to my dad that I wanted to play football, and he just said girls just don't play football. And that was literally squashed like that.
The game's nearly over, but it was great fun for the girls and the girl watchers, who left the ground firmly convinced that a woman's place is still in the home.
Hi, my name's Lockie, and before we start this film, I've got something to admit. I'm not that good at football. I tried it, but it wasn't really for me. Someone who is interested in Aussie rules, however, is my sister, Georgie, who's just finished her second ever season. Having followed my sister for the past 2 years, I found myself increasingly interested in the footballing and social landscape that my sister is going to inherit. The general consensus is that the conditions for women's football have improved markedly since the formation of the AFLW, but to what extent is that actually true? To find out, I've headed to one of the epicentres for women's footballing development, Melbourne's West. As well as being home to the only Victorian AFLW side to have won a premiership in the Western Bulldogs, the region also plays host to its own dedicated women's league, the WRFL, which started in 2017. But rather than have me, a white male, tell you about women's football in the West, why not learn from someone who has experienced the changes in their lifetime?
I came from a big sporting family. My parents were very encouraging of us all playing sport. I played tennis, netball, softball. Football was my greatest love. But of course, back in the day when I was, young, it just really wasn't an option at all. I love football. I love women's football. I love the movement. I love the explosion. I love seeing girls out there playing football, being their strong, best athletic selves. There's a league, the WRFL, Western Region Football League, very big league, but they have obviously teams in all suburbs around the community, in the western suburbs. And I think Footscray with the Bulldogs, the Whitten Oval is such an iconic ground. It's meant a lot to a lot of people growing up in this area. It's working class once upon a time ago. So I just feel that there's a very strong community ethos of people that and the community get right behind the girls. The grand final we saw at Icon Park last year. That was amazing. Just incredible just to see all these people there cheering on their girls. It's just like the men.
Hey guys, sorry, it's Lockie here again. I know I said I wouldn't come back, but how do we get it completely just like the men?
I think women need to be, the seasons have to go longer, they need to be paid more than what they are, and it almost, I think, eventually needs to become a full-time role for them, like with the men's.
The following passages were found within a 1989 report on the impact of sport on juvenile offenders.
There are so many trolls on social media, and if what you read there, they are people out in the communities, and it's quite frightening actually to see how venomous they can be about women. There definitely needs to be a shift. It is shifting very slowly, but it's certainly got a long way to go. I was at Marvel Stadium actually watching, it was one of the AFLW state games. I saw a sea of women with AFL Masters on top of on their Guernsey, and I was just, wow, what's this? And I Googled it at the time. And the Masters is a 35 plus women's football community. So then I just rang up my friend and said, come on, we're going to go and try out. And we did. We signed up then and there on the spot. So it's been awesome. You think you can play, you know all the rules and you watch it, and I've grown up watching football and going to the football, and when you're actually out on the ground, it's a completely different story. You know, it does take a lot of courage, especially at our age, because you're more susceptible to injuries. It's a physical game, but it's very exciting at the same time. I think there's now 10 clubs in the Masters, and that's growing as well, because there's a woman that was playing and she's just retired and she was in her 60s. It's quite extraordinary. So And it is, it's just giving us a chance to get out there and do what we couldn't do when we were growing up, and it's fantastic. Ultimately, it's the childhood dream that I just didn't have.